Substitution level 3. Solve the system by substitution. I got two equations, and I notice that in the top equation, x has been isolated. So over here, I will get rid of x and put whatever x is equal to. So let me switch colors. Since x equals negative 9y minus 2, I'm going to take that quantity and plug it in right there. And then let's just rewrite the equation below. So I've got 4. Now here's the deal. Negative 9y minus 2 is not going to fit in that spot. So I'm going to have to give myself a wide set of parentheses because both these terms have to fit in there. So I'm going to put negative y minus 2. Then I will rewrite the rest of the equation. Negative 3y is equal to 31. Now these got a little bit harder because typically we're going to have to distribute and then combine like terms and solve. So distributing 4 to negative 9y is negative 36y. 4 distributed to negative 2 is negative 8 minus 3y equals 31. This negative 36y and negative 3y, those have to be grouped together. So negative 36 minus 3 is negative 39y. Again, just putting those together. Then I'm going to put subtract 8 is equal to 31. Then my first step to solve for y is I'm going to add 8 on both sides. This is going to cancel. I have negative 39y is equal to 39, which is nice. When you see this, you're like, this is going to work out. Because most of the time we're going to have integers. So divide by negative 39 on each side. And the negative 39 divided by negative 39 is a positive 1. But a positive 1 times y just simplifies to y. So 39 divided by negative 39 is negative 1. And so I just want to go ahead and switch highlighters. I'd like to point out that we now have the value for y. So I can substitute y in the bottom equation or in the top equation. But I'll be honest with you, the top equation is going to be easier because x is already isolated, and that's what we're after. So I'm going to get rid of the green mark down there, and I'm going to go exclusively up to there. So typically the equation I start with is where I end up going. So this negative 1 over here, since it's equal to y, I'm going to take this value all the way up here, and I will substitute it in for y right there. And I'll just move this equation over here to the side. So negative 9, parentheses, in goes negative 1, minus 2 is equal to x. Again, that's our goal. With all these numbers, all we have to do is follow order of operations, and we'll find x. So we're going to have to multiply negative 9 times negative 1 before we can subtract 2. So negative 9 times negative 1 is 9. Minus 2 is equal to x. And then lastly, 9 minus 2 is 7 is equal to x. And we have our ordered pair. So my x value goes first. That's 7. I'll separate it with a comma. And my y value is negative 1. And again, just trying to set this up. If you can solve for one of the variables, this is going to be one solution. All right, one more quick example. So in the first example, we had x isolated. In the second example, we actually have a y isolated. So right here, since y is equal to 2x minus 2, I'm going to come up here, and in for this y, I will substitute this 2x plus 2. Oops, sorry. Okay, so y being equal to 2x plus 2, this 2x plus 2 will go in for this spot right here where there's a y, and then I'll just rewrite the equation to the side. So I have negative 5x minus 2. Now again, notice that y, that's a little spot, but I have to fit both these terms, so a wide set of parentheses, 2x plus 2, close the parentheses, equals to negative 40. Now flipping back to our first example, notice that after we substituted, we distributed, we combined, and then we solved for y. So this will be the same thing where I'll distribute, but I do want to go ahead and point out that, and I'm going to switch colors for this. is that the number we're distributing over here is a negative. A common mistake is people forget to distribute the negative with the 2. So negative 2 times 2x is negative 4x. A negative 2 times a positive 2 is a negative 4. And then I'm just going to switch back to red. So I'm going to bring down the negative 5x, bring down the equal, bring down the negative 40. I'm going to combine negative 5x and negative 4x because those are both x terms. So that's going to simplify to negative 9x minus 4 equals negative 40. Then we'll solve for x by adding 4 to each side. Those cancel, and it simplifies to negative 9x is equal to negative 36. After that, I'll divide by a negative 9 on each side, and I find out that x is equal to a positive 4. Now that x is isolated, I can go ahead and point out that I'm going to substitute 4 for x. And again, I could do this one here, or I could do this one here, but again, like I did in the last one, wherever I started, notice I started with this equation, that's where I return to. So in this problem right here, I'm actually not going to plug it in for x, although you could. I'm going to plug it into this value right here. Okay, so 4 goes into here. And then let's rewrite this and find out what our y value is. So I've got y is equal to 2, parentheses, in goes 4 for x plus 2. We have multiplication and addition. We always multiply before we add. So that's going to be y is equal to, let's see, that's 2 times 4 is 8 plus 2, and then y is equal to 10. So we have our ordered pair. My x value comes first alphabetically, so it comes first numerically as well. I have 4, 10, and that's an example of one solution. Hopefully you found this helpful.